So now session is recorded. So good morning again, Ramadan Kareem for all of you. And today's session, welcome to another webinar on Procons and scheduled by Procons as well. And today's session, will be on Magnar, Payroll HR System and ESS. We will go through all these options from Magnar. Okay, well, what's the solution and what the product is offering? Okay, and we have of course, we will not go into details. And at the end, if you have any question, you can ask me any questions that you want or any clarification. And if you want more detail, we can do one-to-one meeting later on and then go through the solution in more details. So let me share first my screen. And so you can see my screen. Yeah. Yes. So I will just go briefly with a 7-slide PowerPoint presentation. So let me just tell you about the solutions that we are offering now. The solution name is Magnar Payroll and HR System. It's a full payroll HR ESS solution integrated as well with SAP Business One. The solution, it's a loosely app that can work with any ERP, not only Business One, okay, and that can integrate through the APIs and talk with any ERP system, and not only ERP system as well. It can work with SAP by design, with success factor as well. So you can take the payroll engine from Magnar and connect it to SAP success factor. You can have it on SQL database, HANA, you can have it on premise or on cloud as well. And of course, you can have on top of that, we are offering as well an analytics view, to view all the report in the analytics tool. And you can connect it to any time attendance machine, okay, with the scheduling system as well. What does the solution offer? Okay, as I told you, it can be on premise or on cloud. Okay, of course, if it is on cloud, it is offering all the data security policies, all the controls, all the authorization. Okay, the security is well organized. Okay, and nobody can access your data, of course, and it is monitored by you. I will go more about the solution and talk about the solution. It's a multi-company, so you can create as many company as you want. It's a multi-country, and when we said multi-country, okay, when we were looking for a payroll and HR solution, we wanted, that SAP Business One, for example, doesn't come with a payroll system and HR system because each country has its own localization. With Magnar, we found this gap, and we identified the gap in SAP Business One, and we can tackle it using Magnar system because you can have your own taxation, okay, and you can build your own formula, okay, using the system, okay, which come as well for the Middle East, especially for the Middle East, okay, with already embedded taxation and regulation rule, okay, for each country. Already we have Lebanon, Kuwait, Saudi taxation, and we have as well Qatar, okay, and UAE. It's already embedded in the system. It's a multi-currency. What does it mean? So you can have an employee that is, for example, expatriate or assigned for a project for you in euros, and another one in Saudi riyal, another one in Lebanese pound, in dirham. So you can have all of that currencies allocated to any employees that you want. And a multi-language system which support for now English, Spanish, Turkish, and Arabic. And if you want to have more Arab languages for that, we can support that, okay, with the help of you to translate the system okay, to any language that you want. And of course, when we talk Arabic, it's not just Arabic, it is supported left to right and right to left as well. As an HCM solution, okay, it supports all functions of the human resources solution. So you can start with an organization chart, employee self-service, expense management, benefit management, performance management, loan management, leave management, appraisals, and of course, you have the payroll management at the end. For the payroll management, okay, you can have the social security, you have the employee benefits, the income tax, you have multiple calendar for each group of employees. So if you have, for example, site employees and you have office employees, you can have multiple calendar for each one. Accrual management as well. You can manage your accrual, for example, for the leaves or for the ticket for the extra months. So you can manage this accrual, okay, and define it in the system the way where the payroll can calculate this accrual on a monthly basis. For the HR management as well, you can have your employee, of course, master data, which is a common file between the payroll and the HR, the leave management, loan management, expenses, performance management, organization chart, and of service, and training and recruitment as well. So for ESS and MSS as well, for the employee self-service, the employee can always request leaves, expenses, self-appraisals, payslip. He can see the approval procedure where the leave is standing by, where it's pending, for example. He can as well check his expense claim. Everything can be done from there. Okay, our references, we can share this slide later on for the references. Okay, and this is our product map for the bank time and designation workflow management. So let's go deeply into the solution. Okay, so when you log in, this is the first screen for the employee, which is the employee self-service. So if I'm an employee, I want to log into the system. This is my screen where you can see all the modules assigned to this employee, and of course, the system is built on the latest technology, HTML5. Okay, and you can benefit from the screen. So this is the main screen for the employee. So the employee can check his leave. I have, for example, here 4 approved and 4 rejected. I can see the clearance. I can see the employee letter request. If I have any loan request, I have 4 approved and 3 pending. I can see the expense request if I have any expenses to be created and going for approval, general request, employee appraisal, timesheet, travel request, resignation. So let's say I want to see first where is my leave request? I have 4 which are approved. Okay, if I click on the dashboard, I can see them directly. Okay, and see the detail. I can request directly. For example, let's request now. Here you can define your own leave type. Okay, and I can go to annual leave. From the annual leave, let's say I want to apply for something on 13. So 1 day, and here, please, I need it urgently, and then I can submit my annual leave. So now it is saved. If I go back to my dashboard, okay, I can see that I have 1 pending. Okay, so the manager will log in, okay, to the system. Okay, see that the requester Yusuf Muhammad. Now, because as my workflow is defined that just for the demo now that I will approve this kind of stuff. So my available leave balance is 31. He's eligible of 31 days, available as well for end of year 48. Okay, so he's requesting this. Okay, I can either request it, approve it, or reject it. So I will approve it. I can put some comment and submit. So now it is approved. If I go back to my dashboard, I have 5 approved now. Okay, and all these, so your request has been updated. I can go and check it directly from the notification to see that it is already approved by Wasim. Okay, this is the username that has approved my vacation. So all the stuff that can be done from the screen. Okay, all the dashboards, you can see them here to see an interactive solution. And for the ESS, okay, the user can do a self-appraisal. Of course, the initiation for the appraisal will be done from the management, from the back office. Okay, we'll go to the back office later on. Okay, I can see my objective for Yusuf, personal objective. I can see my business objective, my competencies. Okay, whenever I'm doing the my appraisal, okay, and see this one. Leave request, as I told you, now we have already filled one. I can see all my leave requests, the rejected and the approved one. So I have them here already. Leave request, and whenever my leave is approved, I can see directly, okay, that my leave balance as well in the notification. Okay, what is the my leave, okay, for the current period, for the current year, and the total number of uh, leave days that I have. Plus, I can see as well the brought forward balances from the previous year. And you can define this rule, okay, by your own. For example, you can say I cannot take from the last year more than 15 days. So you can define, and the brought forward can be updated directly. Okay, I can apply for a loan. So I have already some loan here. So let's see one. This is still in progress. I want $1,000 and I need it for 3 installment, and it will go to the approval procedure whenever I have. And you can define approvers for each screen here in the system, and this can be done from the back office based on the, of course, as well, organization chart that you have built in the system. Expense request as well, I can put here any expense. For example, I want to fill an expense for today, which is 12, I think. 12, I can put here the comment. Is it a travel transaction as well? So you can see that this is related to my travel trip to Dubai, that is already filled in the travel request and approved, or no. Okay, I don't want to have it in a travel. It's something that is just a travel. And here you can define all the expenses during, for example, a business trip that you have done. So I can fill here one by one. Instead of having multiple expense, you can have different in one expense request, okay, different documents. So let's say I have the taxi here, okay, hotel expenses, and these are expenses name. It is already created by us. You can create your own as well. Now I have created them. So hotel expenses, for example, 1,000, and here as well you can choose, of course, okay, any type of document you want to attach it. You can take a picture, and because the system is built on HTML5, okay, and you can use your mobile to connect to the same website that we are seeing, and the page will be rendered, okay, based on your the phone that you are using. And whenever I finish, I just click on add. Okay, so I have to select the currency here. So add, and after that I will submit it for approval, and it will go for approval from my management. Again, we can go to all these resignation requests, the overtime request, clearing, okay, employee letter request, all these, okay, tasks you can go and clear them from or create them from the ESS, or the employee can create them, okay, for himself. Expense up, and he can check all the report that he wants from here. So I can see if I need any employment letter request, I can apply for any employment letter request as well. If we go back to the dashboard as well, you can the company, okay, can put any corporate offer, for example, or policy and procedure, okay, and available for the employee. For example, I can put the expense procedure, I can put the leave procedure, okay. So all these procedure, you can put them here and they will appear here in the system, and the employee can check it automatically, okay, from the screen. And as well, you can put the corporate offer. So if you want to announce any corporate offer, okay, you can put it here, the document, and the system and the user can check it as well. Okay, you can see as well, the user can see as well as the organization chart, to see how the organization chart in the structure in your company. As well, you can see, you can put, as a manager, I can put here directly the timesheet. The timesheet as well can be imported from a time attendance, or it can be entered manually, okay, from here. So I'm a project manager, I'm responsible for project X, and these are the employees that are already under my name. So on 12/5, I have this employee, okay, that work for 8 hours, okay. They have work an overtime of 3 hours, and the overtime rules is set already from the back office. So you can say that the overtime for a regular day, it's 1.5, for a holiday it's 2, and and so on and so on. Okay, so here you can define as well the maximum number of hours per month or per day, okay, based on that. If he didn't appear and you want to put a penalty as well, you can put already automatically here and just save it to reflect the payroll of this employee. So everything here that is done, okay, can be reflected in the payroll. So all these stuff, okay, are coming from a setup, okay, or from the back office, okay, where we have to create the setup for all the users. So let's log in now to the back office and the payroll as well, to see what are the options, okay, in that screen. So if I want to go, for example, now if I am Tony, and I can work for different companies, especially for approval. If I'm a manager and I have a team within all the company, I can just change the company, okay, and just log into to another company where I can, for example, see another type of employee, okay, and approve, for example, for leaves and expenses as well. So let's go back to the HRMS system. So this is the back office, okay, where I can create employees and define. So from the beginning, I will go to my company setup. So this is all my companies here, all my organization here, Qatar demo, Jordan demo, and under each one, I have the set of companies that I want. So under this company, I have under this organization, I have Taysir Group, Taysir Security Services. I have created this company. Okay, I can log into this company and just start doing all the setup for and creating all the employee for this company. I can define the currencies here in this company as well. I can define as many as I want. I can as well define my exchange rate. And the most important, you can define as well, as I told you, your own taxation. By default, okay, for the Middle East, as I told you, we have some plugins where you can just put the plugin for UAE, for example, and all the taxation and rules will come automatically. For example, in Lebanon, we have the NSSF setup, tax amount exclusion, and tax definition. You don't have to fill in this data. It will come automatically for you whenever, even whenever there is an update from the government. Okay, we just update the plugin and send it to you to upload it in the system. We have as well, you can define different employee type, professions, employee group, nationalities, religion, and costs. You can create your own cost center, and here you can just upload the plugins that we are talking about, the group security, US setup as well, and dimension. And the most important, where you can create as well your own elements, which is the most important. And we have it is a very advanced a very advanced tool, okay, to create your own setup. And later on, even here, okay, if you don't want to use any plugin, or you want to implement, for example, Magnar to any other country, you can use just the elements, okay, to create your own rule. Why? Because it's so sophisticated, where you have even more option, okay, to create these elements. Let me show you one of the example. You have different type of elements. You have the non-calculated, the normal amount elements, and you have as well the calculated. I will show you one of the calculated elements, okay, which is the severance. Or let's just click on add. So here you have different category for the element. For example, I want to create here expenses too. I will not create it now because I already have it. Okay, the type of this is a fixed or variable, so it is a fixed amount or a variable amount. And here you can define if it is an earning deduction based on the basic salary. And here you can say it is manually entered. Is it a plugin coming from the plugins that we have calculated, or it is a calculated? And once you create a calculated, you choose a calculated, you can define your own formula. Okay, let me show you one of the formulas that we did for a customer, which is I think severance accrual. Okay, if I go, and this is a calculated one, so it's not just A plus B. Okay, you can select if else based on grades. You can select any elements that you have already created here, okay, and use it. For example, if the housing allowance, for example, is based on 25% of the basic salary, and depending on the grade as well, you can define this formula automatically here. So you can say if grade is equal to 1 to 3, then allowance is 25%. If the grade is something else, it is 20%. So it is very flexible that you can create your own formula. And if you see here, this is the formula. And after that, you can just see if the formula is correct, and the system will check the formula if you have missed anything or not able to save it or not. As well, you can as well define for this element where it will go to the accounting entry. So you can select the accounts here, which is important whenever you want to post anything to any accounting system, especially SAP Business One, because we have already did the integration with that, and the integration is ready. So you can just define the account, and the system will post all these entries to you. So let's go to the company itself. Okay, so first of all, we have to define the employees. So these are the employees that I have in this company. Okay, I just click on edit and see what are the information that are already included in the employee. And here you can see a 360 overview for the employee. So you can see everything related to the employee. So I can have the employee information, company information, to which company it is, this employee is allocated. I can see the bank details as well, dependencies if he has any, education, if he's rejoining the company, when he rejoins the company. So I did all these stuff on this employee. For example, he closed, he resigned, and then he come back. Okay, so all these information, you can see them here. Personal objective as well, all the skills. So this is like a CV for the employee. You can put everything here as well. You can define to which role he will be assigned as well. So for example, for this employee, it is under the HR department. If he's under a project, okay, timesheet project, and here you can select as well a different dimension. So here you have 5 dimensions, okay, that you can benefit from. And the integrations that we have built with SAP Business One, you can define as well, okay, your own. So for example, this dimension can be in Business One dimension 5, and this one can be dimension 2. So in the integration, we have defined these rules, and where you can easily, okay, map this one with Business One. Okay, so this is the employee profile. So let me close it. It's asking me to save. Okay, so these are all the employees that I have. in my system. Uh, let me show you as well what you can do for this company as well in the company that I'm logged in. Okay, in the setup, you can define your organization chart. So I can define my branch, I can define my company structure. Okay, so what doesn't include in my company? I have different department, for example, procurement, HR, sales, site headquarters, for example. And here, if you see, you can start checking your company structure. So under SAIG, I have the sales department. Under the sales, I have the procurement, where you can define, okay, here automatically, okay, this stuff. So this is a branch, for example, or a department, or a section, a division. So you can define your own here automatically. Okay, and you can say who's the manager for this, for example, branch here. Okay, and start building your organization chart based on this, okay, mapping. Okay, I can go as well to the position. I can have different position, and as well I can see how the organization for my position, the structure for my position. Okay, and I can start adding, for example, if I go to my payroll manager, for example, I can see, okay, the payroll manager reporting to my HR admin. Okay, and the HR admin will, of course, report to the CEO. So this is a way you can as well do your own organization structure. I can define my policy and procedure where, and the corporate effort, offers where these can be checked by the employee and the ESS, the one that we talked about before. As well, I can define as well my jobs, everything that's related to all the jobs that are in the system. After I define everything, okay, I can as well do the setup for my overtime setup, the ones that we have checked before. So for example, the ones that we have used the OT1, okay, it is the rate for this one is 1.5 and the ceiling is 4 hours, okay, maximum per day. The user cannot exceed this number of hours. As well, you can initiate, as I told you before, all the appraisal, and you can define as well all the stuff for the appraisal. So you can define the personal objective, you can define the business objective, you can define the department objective and the competencies, and all of these are linked to the organization setup to the position as well. Okay, I can define different calendars, so I can have my main calendar, my site calendar, and the site employees calendar. If I just click edit, I can define here if Sunday, for example, is a working day, and you can define everything, okay, in the calendar that you want, and even you can define as well all the holidays that are, okay, created by the company, allowed by the company. Okay, the loan. If I don't want to, if I don't want to have the ESS, or for example, some companies doesn't want to have HR, or let's say the ESS portal for the employee, but they want still create this kind of stuff on behalf of the employee. So they can create the loan from here. So it will not go for approval. It is created by the payroll admin, okay, where he can create all these and can be affecting the payroll at the end. As well, he can create, for example, okay, leaves as well on behalf of the employees. He can create the expenses on behalf of the employees. So all these stuff that has been, as I showed you in the ESS portal, the employee self-service. Okay, as well, if you don't have the ESS portal, okay, which we always go, for example, if it is a small company for 5 users, for example, you can have the payroll engine only, okay, and all these transactions can be filled directly from here. As well, as I told you before, for the workflow, you can define your own workflow as well. So I can define the workflow for the expenses, for leave, for cash advance, for overtime, for appraisal, for travel, for clearance. Okay, so these are all the types. that I have created here in the company. And here I can define the approval, who will go, who will do the approval for each one. Okay, and here I can do the mapping for each one. That's, for example, for the expense approval, okay, or for the travel, okay, I can link it, okay, to a workflow that I have did, or to a workflow setup that I have. Okay, after we do that, okay, we can as well just start by entering all these transactions for the employee. It can come from the ESS if the employee fills them, or I can, for example, create them from here. So I want to fill in a leave transaction for 2020, and here this is the same that we have done for the ESS. So I want to create it for May till May, filter, and just start by creating it. Okay, if I fill this one from the ESS, if you see here, it will appear directly. This is the one that we have filled for the annual leave. Okay, I can check it from here. Okay, it can be related to a normal payroll, or it can be related to an off-cycle payroll. Okay, depending on the type that you want to create. After everything, okay, I will just have to go to the payroll process and start my payroll generation. So I want to do the now my payroll for, this is how I have created my employee type. So I want to start my expat. Just let me repeat first. So I want to do it for May because this is a period, because I have already finished April. So the system is putting it for May now automatically. Execute, and the good thing in the system as well, the execution for the payroll and the generation for the payroll is very fast as well. So now, in a matter of seconds already, we have done a severe test for, I think, 10,000 employee. It took us like 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. I don't remember the time, but it was very fast. So after the generation, I can just go and post them, okay, to my I can see, for example, my earning. Okay, so these are the earnings that I have put. I can see as well the timesheet, or I can see, for example, the accrual for this month. Okay, and this is the accrual for Philip and for Hani. Severance accrual, yearly bonus accrual, ticket provision as well. All these accruals that I have put in the system, I can see them directly from here whenever I generate the payroll. If there is anything wrong, okay, you can, before posting the payroll to the accounting, you can just revert the payroll and do it again and change. Maybe the formula was wrong, so you can revert your payroll and you can generate it again. Okay, as well, you can do an off-cycle generation for specific employee type or for specific profile, for a specific period, for specific employees, and you can choose directly the employees from here whenever you select the type. For example, for expat, okay, you can, for example, check that Yusuf, I want to generate off cycle. He's taking a leave for 2 months, okay, and I want to start doing an off cycle generation for him, and you generate only for this employee, okay. So you can give him maybe his salary in advance, okay, or and you can as well directly post it to accounting automatically from here. You can do an employee termination, okay, directly as well from the system, where you can select the employee and the system will automatically terminate this employee in the database, okay, and tell you how much you have to, and it can be posted directly to the accounting as well. It can, the system will calculate all his earning and the pending and end of service that you have to give him. These are all the transaction. All these data as well can be imported from Excel if you have the template. Okay, so you can import the salary details, the employee payroll element, everything can be imported from here. And at the end, whenever you want to check all the reports, these are the reports available out of the box from the system. As I told you as well, it can be linked to we have a portal for BI, okay, where you can link all these reports to a BI tool. Power BI tool. For example, if I want to check the payslip, I think I don't have a payslip right now, but let me check 2020. So for example, I want to select April here, and I want to see it for all employees. No, I don't have any data now, but this is a payslip, okay, where you can see the employee position. Of course, this is crystal report and you can change it yourself. So you can see the total earning, total deduction, name and signature. Okay, in addition, the payroll, if we go back to the, sorry, if we go back to the ESS, okay, you don't have to send the payroll by email anymore. If you have the ESS, the user can automatically, okay, check the payslip directly from here. So if he wants, for example, the payslip for April, okay, I don't have it right now, but he can just export it. Okay, so he will have it here automatically, okay, in the portal, in his portal. So it's very important that as well that he can check his payroll and all this stuff. Let me go back to us. Okay, so for the report as well, you can see, for example, the leave reports, which is very important as well. So I want to select all employees from, let's say, 01/01/2019 till today, and I don't want to select anything else. So if I click on view, okay, I can start. Let me put here, I think 31/12. So I will put it for December so I can see different employees. Okay. So here, if I select now this report, I can see that the employee Yusuf, okay, already took, for example, from 13/5. This is the ones that we have created today, 1 day, and on 9/6 as well, he will take 3 days. Days off work, this is another leave type, 1 day, sick leave, 2 and 4 days. So the total sick leave and total days is 11. Okay, I can go as well to see the next employee. So this is the next employee, which is the Vamshi Dasika. He took an annual leave from 15/5 till 2/6, and he took 19 days. Okay. You have as well different reports from leave report, payslip, payroll details, annual leave balances. You can have the payroll comparison report where you can compare from 1 year to another year, or you can compare all the elements, okay, for the for any employee, okay, and all the history are saved in temporary table where you can as well build your own report on that. So that's it for the payroll, okay, and the Magnar ESS system. If you have any question, please tell me about it, okay, and I will be glad to answer that. Let me see if we have any questions.
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Yes, this is Sanjay with you from Bushari Group Medical.
Yes, Sanjay.
Tony, the first thing which we discussed, that Magnar is fully integrated with SAP B1.
Yes.
So I assume and understand that the employee master, which is available in Magnar, is as well fully integrated with SAP B1, because due to the account receivable, account payable in the GL,
okay,
we need the employee details to be fully integrated with SAP B1. So this is as of now doable or not?
Okay, it depends how you did the implementation for SAP Business One. If you have created all your your employee as business partner, okay. And I don't. For me, I don't think you have to replicate the employee master data, but we did it for another customer. So the tool, okay, that we did supports the integration between Magnar, okay, and the employee master data. But as a rule, the employee should always be in the payroll system, not in the ERP system. Okay.
No, correct.
Sometimes
we don't need to duplicate transactions on SAP B1. That's my question, you know.
Yeah, you don't need to duplicate them. Usually.
So technically, when I'm doing any transaction on SAP B1, I can fetch the employee master data from Magnar. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah. But I don't think you have to do anything from from business one to be reflected in Magnar. Okay, while the opposite is correct. So everything that is done in Magnar will stay in Magnar. At the end, you will post your journal
Yes.
entries. You will post your journal entries to affect your accounting and financials. That's it. Okay.
Absolutely. No, why I'm asking you this question is because we currently implemented SAP B1, all right? And
Okay.
We have been asked to give 2 sets of database for the employees. One for the SAP B1, another for the Magnar, which is it's not acceptable as of now, and we are talking now to Procons. Okay, so
Okay.
now that I get a reconfirmation from you that this is fully integrated, we shouldn't be having 2 databases because it should be one database in Magnar.
Regarding this, let's discuss it, Sanjay. Okay, offline. Okay, we can have a small meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, to discuss this point, to see what is the purpose of creating 2 databases. Maybe because I cannot discuss it now, maybe there's something else that you want to have or you want to implement, and that's why we have the team has suggested that. Okay.
All right. I have one more question. In Magnar, when you talk about the expense reimbursement,
Okay.
Once the expense is approved, it has the same effect of hitting the GL, just like the payroll transaction?
Yes. Because it will.
So we can directly export it to the GL in SAP B1, right?
Whenever you generate your first, when you do any expenses, the payroll will be generated, okay, using as well the expenses that you have already approved in Magnar, right? And in the expense setup, you will define all the accounting and all the accounts for these expenses, okay. And once you post to business one, it will post automatically all the expenses to business one. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Tony.
No worries. Welcome. Any other question? Later on, we will share this as well, as usual. As well, we will share all these the recording for the session. As well, we will share as well the presentations that we did, okay, for Magnar. And if you are interested, you all have my emails from previous one, but I will as well write my email in the chat box. So if you need any more detail about the solution, okay, I will be glad to answer you. And if anyone needs to add anything about now about this, okay, just can chat. You can send me the question on the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask.
Hi, Tony. Can we see the layout of the payroll slip, please?
Okay, this is a payslip that we have seen before. I'm just looking again. Okay, no, I have it here. I think I have downloaded it. Just a minute. Oh, I have it here. This is the layout right now. Okay. So you have employee name, position, department, and this can be as well, because you are using just a report, you can edit it yourself, okay, and upload it, so you can use your own your own payslip as well. This is just a template that we are using.
Great, thanks.
Okay. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining. And next week we'll have another webinar, okay, for the budgeting and planning tool. So you will be invited as well. If you have not, you've already been invited. If you are not, please inform us so we can send you the invitation again. And stay safe and see you soon. Just 1 minute. I have a. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.